Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. Today I'm going to be creating this little rustic Easter bunny door hanger made out of dollar store items. Let's get started and I'll show you how I created this.
Nothing says Easter like the Easter Bunny. Today we're going to take a look at making a rustic Easter Bunny wreath inspired by those Easter Bunny wreaths you see all over the internet. To begin, I am just going to be using two different sizes of styrofoam wreath forms, and the sizing for mine is about 9.5 inches and about 6.25 inches. So those are the size of wreath forms that I'm going to use today. And I am just going to start with some jute rope here. And this I just got at my local dollar store. Not too expensive. I think it was like $1 for this whole roll here. And I am just going to start as soon as I find the end. And really simple for this one. All I'm going to do to start off is I'm just going to put down a little bit of hot glue at the end here. Then I am just going to attach that jute rope, hold it down for a little bit, just to make sure that glue dries. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start wrapping that jute rope all the way around. I'm not going to pull it too tight. I'm just going to make sure it's nice and taut and pushed up right against the one I just did before. So I'm wrapping it around with my right hand, and with my left hand I'm just holding it in place, and I'm just going to go around the entire wreath. And here we're coming up to the end. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave a little bit of the styrofoam bare, and I'm going to attach my second round, the smaller round, right on top there. And I want to attach styrofoam to styrofoam, and you'll see how I'm going to cover up that styrofoam in just a little bit. So here I am coming towards the end. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue down to make sure that my twine doesn't go anywhere and it's nice and secure on that styrofoam wreath ring. Give it a little bit to dry, and then I'm just going to take my scissors, cut off the excess, and we are finished with our base of our bunny. And like I was just mentioning, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to actually glue that towards the end of them together. But first I want to wrap this smaller one. So I'm just going to put this one aside, and I'm just going to take a smaller twine, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did on the larger wreath. I'm just going to start off hot gluing my piece of twine down, letting it sit for a couple of seconds to make sure it's dry, and then the fun part, wrapping it around and around and around. And we are coming to the end of wrapping our wreath with twine. And again, I'm just going to put a little hot glue down there to finish this off and to anchor everything, make sure everything's secure. I'm going to wrap that twine in the hot glue, wait a little bit for it to dry, and then once it's nice and secured, I'm going to grab those scissors again and just cut that off. And we have our second piece all done, ready to attach to the top, or to the bottom, sorry, of our bunny. And here is the bottom portion. And I have roughly the same width here of styrofoam showing, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that the top portion does adhere to the bottom portion and lay flat. So I'm going to lay both of them down on a flat surface, line them up, and then I am just going to hold them together for a little bit with all that hot glue in there and just wait until that dries. The glue is now dry, and I'm just going to take some remaining twine here, and I'm actually going to wrap all around right in the center here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to start a piece of twine right here. So like I did before for both of these, I'm just going to start off with my twine in some hot glue, holding it there for a little bit, letting it dry. And then I'm just going to feed through here and get those two sections wrapped together. And you can see when I flip it over, we are covering that opening of the styrofoam where we're not seeing it anymore. And I'm just going to give it some more wraps just to make sure everything's covered. And then I'll move on to the other side and just keep wrapping the twine around and around until everything is covered. I think this is going to be my last one coming around because I've covered up all that white beautifully. I'm just going to turn it over and then some more hot glue down. And we've done this a couple times before already. We'll just hold that in the hot glue for a little bit until it dries. And then I'm just going to chop off the excess with my scissors. I'm going to make sure that that rope doesn't go anywhere and it's nice and snug there in that hot glue. But we turn it over and there we go. We can already see our Easter bunny forming with the head and the body. Of course, an Easter bunny is not complete without its little Easter ears. So what I'm going to do is, this is a little bit thicker than some of the floral wire I've worked with in the past. It's just floral wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of judge the size of the bunny ears that I want. And I'm just going to mold them with this wire. And I think that length is going to work. And again, I'm just judging here. I'm not measuring anything. If anybody wants to know the length of this, let me just grab my ruler. That is approximately about 16 inches, maybe just a little bit over of length for that. And of course, I'm going to cut two lengths. And for this, I'm just going to hold it side by side. Use my wire cutters, chop that off. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to find my center, fold it down. I'm going to create a nice little point there. And then the Easter bunny's ears kind of come out a little bit and down. So there's my little bunny ears. And all I'm going to do is stick that right inside the styrofoam. So I've created a bunny ear so far. And I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other one on the other side. My wires are all in, shaped like bunny ears. And now I'm just going to go back to that thicker jute rope that I had. I used this right at the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bead of glue all on the top of this. And then I'm just going to place down on top of that wire my jute rope. And that's going to create those beautiful bunny ears. I've got my first layer of twine down, and just to clean up some of these edges here, I am just going to use that thinner twine and I'm going to wrap it around, not fully, but just kind of haphazardly, very rustically around the ears, just to kind of cover up a little bit of the wire and to cover up my edges here. My first ear is done. I've just kind of cleaned up those edges, wrapped around the twine just kind of haphazardly and created a nice little pattern there on my first ear. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. And then let's move on to embellishments. And the base of my Easter bunny wreath is all done. I've got the base portion of it, or his body, the face portion, and his little ears also. And we're ready to add some embellishments here. I'm just going to keep him sideways so we can see our little Easter bunny in view. And what I'm going to be adding on is just these little florals that I got from the dollar store. They're green and pink, and I thought, they're perfect for Easter. But what I'm going to do is I don't like the little leaf here, so I'm just going to take my wire cutters and I'm just going to take that leaf off. And I'm going to turn this guy around a little bit, and then I'm going to bend the bottom portion just to kind of match the arc of the wreath form. And all I'm going to do is really simple. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down, and then I'm just going to hold that right in place. And while I do that, I'm just going to bend these little guys around a little bit, kind of place them where I want them to be placed. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing on a couple of other little floral picks. My floral picks are all attached and nice and dry, and I'll turn this to the side so you can totally see it in its full length. It looks really good. What I'm thinking is I might just add a little bit more. I have this spare little carrot that I had in my little crafting drawer, so I'm kind of thinking I might add that maybe with some eggs on there as well. So I'm just going to hot glue this guy down, attach that to my wreath. Of course, we always think bunny rabbits and carrots go hand in hand, right? So let's add a little carrot. Why not? Also, too, I had some little eggs. So I think I'm just going to put a couple of these eggs on there as well. It is Easter after all. So I'm just going to take a couple of those eggs and I'm just going to put them down, and they're nice and colorful as well. And I'll just put those down as well. My little Easter bunny rustic wreath is all complete. I have my Easter embellishments down here with my floral picks, and of course the little body with the little head and the little ears. I just love how this rustic wreath really turned out. And again, it's been inspired by those grapevine bunny wreaths that we've seen all around. So I've created another little rustic wreath using twine and all other supplies from my local dollar store. Now let's hang this up and see what it looks like on my exterior door.
And here's my little rustic Easter bunny door hanger in all of its glory, hanging right there on my front door. And it didn't cost me $80 like the ones I showed right at the beginning of the video. I love that. And I hope you enjoyed today's video as well, and my little Easter bunny door hanger. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate your support, love, and all of your comments. So leave me a comment down below, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching again. Take care. Bye for now.